making flatbread / pita bread. It's super easy and it tastes so much better than the stuff you buy in the store. So to start out, put 1 packet of yeast in the bowl of your stand mixer. Then add 1 cup of pretty warm but not super hot water. Sorry. And 1 cup of flour. Oops. Then you're just going to mix that up a little bit. And we're going to let that sit for about 15 minutes until it is nice and frothy and the yeast has activated. Okay, so now you can see that it's nice and foamy and the yeast has activated. So next we're going to add in 1 teaspoon of salt and 1½ tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, I've attached my dough hook and now I'm going to add almost another cup of flour. We're going to leave some of it out. And we're going to start it up and let it mix for a little while. And what we're looking for is a nice, kind of soft, a little bit sticky dough. So just keep an eye on it and you may have to add the rest of the flour. I'll check back in a minute and see if it needs some more flour. Okay, so here we are after a few minutes and I'm definitely going to have to add a little extra flour to this. We're looking for a dough that pulls away from the sides and we're nowhere close. Okay, after a little more flour, we're getting closer. Let's see if you can see in there. Let's see how it's not quite pulling away from the sides. So we'll have to add a little bit more. As you can see, the dough has pulled away from the sides a bit. So I'm going to let this knead for about 5 to 6 minutes in the mixer. I ended up having to add a little more than 2 cups to mine, but it might be because it's really humid here today. So I'll be back when it's all done, when it's finished kneading, to show you what it should look like. Okay, it's been kneading for a good 5 or 6 minutes. I'm going to take that off. And then we're going to put a little bit of olive oil on it. Do this without making a mess. Oops. Get the dough completely coated in olive oil, which isn't easy to do with one hand. Okay. Get the dough completely coated in olive oil. And then we're going to cover it with some foil and let it sit for about 2 hours till it's doubled in size. Okay, so this is what it looks like after it's risen for 2 hours. And then we're going to pull it out and put it onto a floured surface. Pat it out. And divide it into 8 pretty equal pieces. Then you take each piece and form it into a little ball. And once you're done with that, with all 8 of them, I'm going to let them sit covered with some plastic wrap for 30 minutes or so. You might want to oil if your dough's kind of sticky, you can oil the plastic wrap so that it doesn't stick to the dough. Okay, so I've formed all 8 of the little dough balls, and now I'm going to just cover them. I can get the plastic wrap to tear and let them rest for half an hour before I do anything else with them. Okay, so I let the dough balls rest for 30 minutes, and then I went ahead and pressed out 2 of them into rounds, sort of round, doesn't have to be exact. And then we need to let those sit for 5 minutes. And while you're doing that, you can preheat your cast iron skillet or pan or whatever you're going to fry them up in. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. I have my grill pan heated up, and I'm just going to slap them on. Let them cook on this. Oops, sorry. I'm going to let them cook on this side for a couple minutes, and then flip them over. I know this is riveting. All right, and then let them cook for a little longer, and then I'll flip them back. Hopefully, some of these will puff up. All right, I flipped them back over. I don't think we're going to have any luck with the first ones puffing up. I don't know if you can see this, not very well, but this first one here is puffing up a little bit. Look at it go. I can't tell if you can see that on the camera. We don't have a full puff up, but at least it's something. Okay, I'm back for just a second so you can see. I hope you can see it on camera, how this one is puffing up. Let's see if I can flip it, see if it'll puff some more. Or if you can see it better. Can you see that? Awesome, it looks like we have at least one piece of pita bread out of this batch so far. We basically just have to keep flipping them over every couple of minutes to see if they will puff. Some do, some don't. I had one batch where I'd say all but 2 of them puffed up, and this batch so far, this is number 3 and 4, and this is the only one that's really done any puffing. So here's my end result. I got 8 pieces of really delicious flatbread out of that. Only one of them really puffed up to make pita bread, but it doesn't matter. It tastes good no matter what. Thanks.